Good day and welcome to this Friday devotional. We are still in Numbers, and here we are at Numbers 21. And here we see the Israelites again traveling and finding difficulty in making their way around neighboring nations who are hostile towards them. They become attacked and they are delivered from God a victory. But still, these people are impatient. And they speak out against God and against Moses, and they are still frustrated, exclaiming the same things. You brought us out of Egypt just to die in the wilderness. There's no bread, there's no water, and we detest this miserable food. Miraculous food they have come to detest. We see that the providence of God is not enough for them. That the promise and the hope set before them is not enough to overcome. And they find themselves continually frustrated with leadership who cannot seem to get them to where they want to be. And the Lord's response to their speaking out against him and his leadership is that he sends venomous snakes. And they bite a lot of Israelites. And the people come to Moses and they acknowledge that they've sinned and spoken against them. And ask him to pray to the Lord that they would take the snakes away. And so Moses does. And instead of taking the snakes away, Moses is told by God to make a bronze snake and put it on a pole. And anyone who's bitten can look at it and live. And so he does, and they do. The Israelites continue to move around, and they continue to find conflict. And they are brought out of conflict victorious. There's a lovely little song, a poem, Spring Up a Well. You hopefully have heard a song or two about that. And they still ask to pass through these countries, and they are still denied. And so here we see once again Israel coming up against conflict, and Moses being assured to have faith in the God who has brought them this far. And they do again see more victories. And so as God's people, are we strong enough in our faith to expect victories? To be assured in the path set before us? As I continually hear the bemoaning of Israel, I often think of how much we want revival and how much we want more baptisms and more new Christians, and how we want to reach out to the community and make change. And as a congregation and even as individuals, how fast do we waver? We know there's milk and honey in the future, but yet we cannot stand the wilderness, the conflict, the trial. What a great test God is putting Israel through. But is it not there as a light not just to Israel, but to his people, about his provision, his faithfulness, and about our inability at times to be steadfast in our promises, to be steadfast and diligent in our faith. And so, Lord, I pray that you would just use these stories and your history to remind us of how faithful you are in all circumstances, and to challenge us to practice our faithfulness, to notice when we're giving up our faith. Lord, may we be a church that is willing to walk through the desert for you, for as long as it takes. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious to you. And today, would you know his peace?